Imagine this. You're sitting alone, lost in thought, when suddenly you realize there's a voice in your head. It never stops. It judges. It doubts. It narrates your life like a relentless commentator. But here's the unsettling truth. Who is it talking to? If you say, "It's me," then who is the me listening? Another voice? Another layer of the mind? The absurdity hits you. You're both the speaker and the audience, trapped in an endless loop of self-dialogue. Nietzsche saw this madness clearly. When you stare into the abyss stares back. What if this inner voice isn't even yours? What if it's borrowed, stitched together from parents, teachers, society? And worst of all, what if you've never once had an original thought? The question isn't just philosophical. It's a trapdoor beneath your identity. Now, the real horror begins if the mind is talking to itself. Who are you really? The voice never shuts up because it can't. It was designed this way. From childhood, your mind was colonized. Parents, schools, media, all feeding you scripts, conditioning you to narrate your own life in their terms. Nietzsche called it the herd mentality, the invisible prison of borrowed thoughts. Carl Jung saw it too. People don't have ideas. Ideas have people. This is why you argue with yourself, why you feel split. One part of you craves approval, safety, belonging. The other screams to break free. Schopenhauer recognized the torment. Man can do what he wills, but he cannot will what he wills. You didn't choose your fears, your desires, even your regrets. They were handed to you, the deeper horror. Most never notice. They mistake the echo chamber of their mind for free will. But what if true freedom starts when you realize you've been rehearsing someone else's lines your whole life? The silence between thoughts holds the answer. But first, you must dare to listen. This silent puppetry shapes everything. Your relationships. Do you love? Or are you performing love? Your ambitions. Do you want success? Or just the validation it promises? Huxley warned of a world infantilized by pleasure and distraction, where people mistake their chains for choices. Neurologically, it's a closed loop. The brain reinforces familiar pathways, mistaking repetition for truth. Cognitive biases act as prison guards. Confirmation bias locks you deeper into borrowed beliefs, while the spotlight effect keeps you terrified of judgment. Dostoevsky's Underground Man raged against it. Man only likes to count his troubles, but he doesn't count his joys, because even suffering feels safer than the unknown. The cost? A life half lived. You mute your instincts to keep the peace. You swallow your truths to avoid exile. And the voice? It grows louder, not to guide you, but to drown out the one thing that could set you free, the terrifying possibility of your own silence. Next comes the rebellion, or the final surrender. Which will you choose? The way out begins with a single act of defiance. Stop believing your own thoughts. Not all of them, just the ones that speak in borrowed voices. Nietzsche's solution was ruthless. You must become who you are, but first, you must unbecome everything you are told to be. Start with the gaps, those rare moments between thoughts where the commentary stalls. That silence, that's you. Jung's shadow work awaits there, the parts of yourself you were taught to disown. Schopenhauer's asceticism whispers another path. Deny the hungry ghost of desire and watch what remains. This is where most fail. They mistake rebellion for swapping one script for another. True freedom isn't about new beliefs. It's about dissolving the need to believe. When the mind screams for certainty, laugh. When it demands an identity, stay empty. The voice will panic. Let it, because beyond its noise lies something terrifying. And alive, the final truth is simpler than you think, and harder than you fear. Here is the secret. There is no you to find. The mind's endless chatter was never speaking to you. It was speaking instead of you. Nietzsche's greatest insight cuts deepest. There are no facts, only interpretations. Even the seeker is an illusion. What remains? Not an answer, but a presence. The weight of a raindrop. The space between heartbeats. The part of you that notices the voice without needing to obey it. Sartre called it the unbearable lightness of being, unbearable because it asks everything. Light because it gives everything back. This is why you laughed at the beginning. The truth was too simple. You are never lost, only buried under a lifetime of secondhand noise. Now, the real question. Will you keep listening to the voice? Or will you become the silence behind it? The choice is yours. But make no mistake, it is the only choice that ever mattered.